Okay, this one is going to be an X-Men movie rant. Wow. What to say about this? I remember growing up as a kid watching the X-Men animated series, and I just remember how awesome it was. How the sci-fi concepts, the different mutant powers, just the collection of these great characters put together. Yeah, there were some characters I didn't like Cyclops, but in the end, he served his purpose. You weren't really meant to like him in a lot of ways. Um, Now, here's the thing, right? Um, I guess this is going to be a bit of a Hugh Jackman rant as well. Now, like the movies, um, I don't understand why, when the reason that people wanted to go and watch the movies was largely based on the animated series, that they completely undid everything that the animated series did right. I mean, let's be honest, even to people who are X-Men movie fans, right? Can you seriously tell me that any one of those X-Men films was better than a chapter of season one or two of the X-Men animated show? I mean, can you seriously tell me that? I really don't think you can. I really don't think you can look me in the eye or look at yourself in the mirror and really tell me that any one of those like X-Men episodes from the beginning, if they were made into a movie, they wouldn't have been better than the X-Men film. Um, so why is this? The reason is mainly because it's become the Wolverine show, and I think Hugh Jackman is good as Wolverine, but nonetheless, I think it's gone too far. I think it's time for him to leave. I know he's going to be in the next chapter of X-Men First Class, which so far is the best X-Men film they've done. It's not perfect, but it's the best X-Men film they've done, and I think a large part of that is because Hugh Jackman is not in it. Hugh Jackman, from the very beginning, hijacked that whole movie, and it wasn't his fault. It was the writers and directors who thought that they needed a central character, a central hero, and they decided to go with Wolverine. But what that meant was they brought all the rest of the characters down, all the rest of the characters that we love. Rogue was done such a horror. Oh, it was just horrible watching it. It was really horrible watching it. Why would you do that to Rogue? Rogue was this badass, sexy Southern belle with super strength and could fly and durability and ability to absorb people's powers. Why the hell would you make her like Jubilee? They basically made her into Jubilee, um, and took away like her powers. She could have been like a breakout star of that film. She would have been so kick ass. The same thing they did. They didn't put Beast until the third movie. Another great character. Storm was watered down for the movie. They killed off Cyclops in the third movie. I just didn't get it. And the biggest crime of all was like not putting Gambit in the movie. Wolverine is only as good as who he can play off of. If he is the main strand underlying the story. If he isn't the badass who comes in at the end and kind of like, saves the day in his own kind of special way, whereas the rest of the movie is about the interaction between the characters, then they've just got the X-Men wrong. The X-Men, Wolverine was never a solo character. He was never Superman or Batman or something like that. He was part of a team, and the team enhanced what he did, and made him cool. They made him stand out as a character, so as I said, Gambit and Rogue was an integral part of what made that show so cool. They were probably my favorite characters in the show. Um, seconded by Wolverine. Um, so where do we go from now? I'm looking for like solutions to the problem. And I really, really think that the best thing that the X-Men series can do, which they're, a series of films can do, which they're not going to, is get a new Wolverine. First of all, I think Wolverine should be in a separate series based in the future. Possibly Professor X is dead, and it's just the X-Men. Jean Grey's out of it. Like, just put Psylocke instead of her. Have Rogue, have Gambit, have Wolverine, and Cyclops. Um, and then instead of like doing this low key kind of thing, one of the things is like there's hardly any mutants with interesting powers that are visually popping. Like who can fly and have super strength, or who have some other kind of power that would be really cool to depict in a movie. That was half of the reason why it didn't really translate well into the movies. Uh, Another thing, for some reason, Magneto was the villain in every single X-Men movie. Why not move on? Why not Apocalypse? Why not, somebody else? So again, I think that they need to set an X-Men movie, a separate X-Men movie in the future, and kind of retell the story of the X-Men, and then connect that with X-Men First Class. I think that is really the best way to go, because at the moment, and recast Hugh Jackman, so that they don't have this big star who is taking over the whole show. That they need, somebody who they can put in the background a little bit, and like have him do like cool things and interact with the rest of the players. They need Gambit in there as well. Gambit needs to be done justice. He's a very cool character, very, very relatable, who I think a lot of people will get into. And they need Rogue as a full-powered Rogue, because there's not enough strong female characters out there, and she was one of the best like strong female characters in her own right, you know. So there's no reason for her not to be like that in the films, and I think that will bring a lot of women in to want to watch the X-Men films as well. So anyway, that was my rant on the X-Men. I just think it deserves better. It's a great, great story, and you know, Hugh Jackman has had his time. We need a new Wolverine.